Hey, what's going on, aficionados? This is Alex with TDM Cigars, bringing you a brand new mini-series called So, You Want to Get Into the Cigar Industry. In these exploits, I explain my trials, tribulations, my pitfalls, everything that I've gone through so far, the things that I was aware of, things that actually caught me by surprise, like that kind of a deal. So basically what this will entail is a plain direction on if you truly want to get into the cigar industry. What type of business plans you're going to have to do versus business models. Not everything can be done in every state. I'm in New Jersey, so a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about pertains to here, but I'm also going to talk about some things that are nationwide. So just a little bit kind of background of so everybody understands where I'm coming from. I've had TDM Cigars for about 3 years. I established it in January of 2023, and we've been building it little by little. Now, I have a website. Unfortunately, it's not really drawing any money. I have a lot of blogs there, some reviews, some instructions, that kind of a deal. Obviously, we have the YouTube channel. The store portion of the website, unfortunately, is going through a huge web migration. We're moving from one platform to another. For those of you who have seen some previous videos, I've explained a little bit of this. So if you're thinking about getting into the cigar industry, there's a couple questions. What type of business are you looking into? You're looking into distribution? You're looking into retail, wholesale? Are you looking into manufacturing? Because everything will have its own inherent headaches, I guess. And unfortunately, there's no handbook. Like, nobody actually put it together. You get these generalized, hey, I want to start a cigar lounge or cigar shop, and here are the things that I did and all that kind of stuff. They'll talk about social media and everything else, proper design of a lounge, what types of cigars you should carry, but they talk about the actual atmosphere. They don't talk about all the deep down dirty secrets that you actually have to work through in order for you to have not only a successful business, but you're heavily regulated, you're heavily taxed. You actually have to really keep up with that. So again, I have an online business primarily, but I also have a mobile shop. So I do travel to certain areas. I sell my wares. I have a little mobile tent where you can sit down and have a cigar, and you can go ahead and come into my tent and purchase whatever cigar and accessory that you want from there. This has been nothing but headaches. I've worked in cigar shops before, but this is the first time I'm ever an owner. Now, mind you, I'm a paramedic. I'm an instructor. Again, for those of you who have seen a lot of my previous videos, that you guys will know that. So I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. But there are things that kind of catch you by surprise, and the unfortunate part, especially about the cigar industry, is surprises cost you money. What do I mean by that? All right. So when I first started, we started with a blog site, Big Chief Cigar Review, and that was on the Wix platform. Now, because I wasn't selling anything, the website was perfectly fine. It was great. Wix is an amazing hosting program. But what they don't do is they do not support high-risk environments. Well, what do I mean? Guns, financial institutions, the adult industries, tobaccos, alcohol, that kind of a deal. They cannot support high-risk things, mostly because of the payment purveyors, right? So whenever you have a business that's heavily regulated, especially on the federal end, you're considered high risk because there's so much credit card fraud going around that you really have to just abide by a set of rules. Now, again, some of these rules are going to be specific to New Jersey. Some of them are going to be a little bit more generic. This is not going to be explained all in one episode. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you little by little what to start out with so you don't make the mistakes that I do if you want to get into the cigar industry. Now, here's the other part that people don't think of. If you are retiring from a job and you're like, I smoke cigars, I'm just going to open up a cigar shop. Don't do that. And what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, take a second, go work at a cigar shop. See what it actually entails. Now, if I'm going to tell you to go work at your local brick and mortar, me personally, I would advise against that, and here's why. You don't want to poop where you eat. All right, so you want to go explore other shops to see the dynamic. Is it a heavy foot traffic? What are their sales? What are their expectations? Is it clean? Do they rotate their stock every 6 months? I know shops that every quarter will rotate, like they'll actually move product from one side of the humidor to the other, and you're probably like, well, that's going to confuse the customer. No, that's not what that does. What it does is that you have your frequent customer. They know where their cigar is. They're going to go straight to that and not look around. Well, one of the models is if you flip everything around. I was like, oh, my stuff is not normally over here. Well, what's over here? Now it gets you a chance to actually look at the other products. There are certain schools for a tobacconist certification. Now, a lot of tobacconists are, well, I grew up with cigars, I did my own research, whatever. I went to Tobacconist University. It's an online course. It's very heavily indoctrinated into the cigar industry. It gives you a lot of the history, where the plants come from, the history of the cigar, the history of the plant, and everything, right? Get that education. Then you should definitely have at least a couple of business courses. You need to know what you want your business to provide, and can you provide it? There comes the money part. Can you do this with very little money? Yes, you're going to struggle. Just strap yourself on that struggle bus, get in the front seat, and just hang on for the ride. Why? Because between licensing, taxes, fees, website designs, products, credit cards, I have mobile hotspots, I have the business phone, we do business cards, do advertising, I have to buy the pop-up tents, I have to put fuel in the vehicles. Like there's a lot of things that you don't initially account for. Now, as long as you have a place to start, then you actually get the idea of, wait a minute, this might be a little bit more than I can chew. I'm doing it while I have a full-time job. It is murder. The good part about it is I'm not dependent on the money my company makes, if at all, because I have a full-time job sustaining me and my family. 100% of the money that the business makes goes right back into the business to let it grow, pay some bills, and allow myself for expansion. Now, you need to do things at a snail's pace. Don't go blowing all this kind of money, doing everything. Do your market research. If you're looking to do a brick and mortar, not every town is going to allow you to put up a cigar shop, right? There are ordinances, there's state ordinances, there's federal regulations. There's a lot of things that you're not aware of what goes on. So, I'm smoking a La Gloria Cubana Series R Maduro. This thing's delicious. So, again, I'm just putting out some things that I've learned. Oh, somebody's in trouble. Holy crap, they found me. I have to hide. Okay. So, the things that have caught me by surprise, I had to move my website from Wix to WordPress. That took several thousands of dollars. Website's still not done. We started this project in October of last year. We tried to go through payment purveyors. You have to go through an application process. Like, they have to verify who you are. And if you've never done business before, like, you're going to go from payment processor to processor to processor until somebody finally picks you up. And then at that point, the beggar's going to be beggars can't be choosers at that point. And you really have to sit down. All right, well, how much crap am I able to tolerate? So if you're ever really considering getting into the cigar industry, follow this series. I'm going to give you the ins and outs, the things that you need to look out for, the things that are great, the things that are horrible, and it really needs to make you think, is it worth it? I'm taking a passion and turning it into a business. That sometimes can kill your passion. So I started out as a volunteer EMT. Now I'm a paid paramedic, and I'm gonna tell you, after 25 years of service, you start to lose a little bit of the passion. I love taking care of people. I love helping everybody. That's in my nature. But you kind of run into problems, when you do things for an extended period of time. It's kind of like that whole lather, rinse, repeat. You kind of get stuck in a loop. But follow the series. There's going to be a hell of a lot more. It's going to be very structured. We're going to start from the beginning, talk about business plans versus business structure versus business models. We're talking about payment purveyors. If you decide to roll your own cigars, talked about the pitfalls of that, where to get your tobacco that's already here in the United States. If you're thinking about opening up a factory here in the US, good luck. It is by far the hardest thing you can actually do. But brick and mortars, they're not easy to start, they're not easy to run, and they're not easy to maintain. So if you see those brick and mortars, they've been around for an extended period of time, they're doing something right, or they've got a lot of money backing them. The internet sites, you can't ship to every state. There are certain rules. You're going to need an out-of-state tobacco license in order to sell to their state, and then you have to follow their state tax regulatory rules, and it's going to change your profit margins. Listen, if you want to be intrigued and actually learn some stuff of what it actually takes to start in the cigar industry, follow this series. All right, this is Alex from TDM Cigars. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.